Steam just dropped a huge update as far as what this console slash PC price is going to be, and it's actually not what we're expecting, and it's kind of bad, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Carter, aka So Cool in the building. We are back with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about Steam slash the PC console that expecting to drop in the year of 2026. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We essentially go over gaming news, gaming topics, gaming updates, opinions on games, things of that nature. A lot of different topics that we discuss, so if you guys want more information on that, feel free to check out the channel and just drop me a like. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, let's get into this topic. So when the Steam console was first announced, it was announced in early November. The specs that were being talked about that this console could have are as follows: CPU custom 6-core AMD Zen 4, GPU custom AMD RDNA 3, RAM 16GB DDR5, and storage 512GB or 2TB of SSD NVMe. Now, obviously these specs are the bare minimum for a PC, and this would actually fit more so for a console style, but you can also use this as a PC as well, because essentially Steam's library is mostly filled with a bunch of small indie games. It does have some AAA games in there as well, but their main course of lobby is essentially filled with small indie games that doesn't require crazy graphics, crazy updates, and etc. things of that nature. Now, obviously these specs are the bare minimum and would fit for a console style, but this can also fit for a PC style as well, depending on the games being ran. What makes Steam so unique is that most of their lobby are small indie games, and not every game requires your best setup, your best specifications, the best graphics to run most of the games on Steam. Now, most of us were actually expecting Steam to come out at a price of $4.99, and this was actually a clear opportunity for Steam to come into the console space, essentially because Xbox and PlayStation are essentially starting to update their prices, and so Steam coming in at that price point of $4.99 would essentially put them on top. That's going to gather more consumers, that's going to build your audience and things of that nature. Now, the problem with them setting that price point at $4.99 is essentially they would lose money on every console being sold. Why? The specifications that comes with the actual PC. You have the GPU, you have the CPU, you have the RAM, and you also have the storage as well. Those things alone, that console is worth a little bit more than what it would actually be priced for at that $4.99 price. And plus, they would have to pay on labor as well. So essentially them pricing it at that $4.99, they would essentially lose money on every console that would essentially be sold. And because they're so new, they're so fresh in the console space, we don't really know how long they can actually withhold them losing on every single console. And that's essentially why Xbox and PlayStation's also starting to increase their prices as well, just because of the simple fact that most people are transitioning into that PC gaming space. And also, like I mentioned earlier, you're losing money on every console that is essentially being sold because of the parts that it takes to make that console, the labor that you're paying to make that console. It just costs way more than them are actually selling for that particular price. Most consoles are starting to realize that PCs are actually becoming the new gaming standard. What that means is that most consoles, your Xboxes and PlayStations, are going to be priced out moving forward. PlayStation is already starting to take advantage of that. There's a monitor that kind of has like a whole PlayStation software. You can essentially play that as a PC now. It's actually kind of crazy that they're doing that. Xbox, they already have that Xbox PC Game Pass. You don't even need a Xbox console. All you need is the Game Pass, and essentially you already have access to their PC lobby. Instead of consoles being the standard $4.99, Xbox, PlayStation, and now Steam will be increasing their prices and leaning more so on PC pricing, essentially close to that $9.99 or $1,100 for PCs that can essentially last 5 years, or every typical gaming cycle, which is essentially 2 to 3 years, until they offer much better hardware specifications and things of that particular nature. Now, the way Steam could actually play it, they could actually have 3 different tiers of this Steam console slash PC. We could see your base tier, which starts at that $9.99, and that comes with the standard 6-core AMD CPU, GPU AMD RDNA 3, the 16GB DDR5, and the 512 storage as well. That could be your base $9.99 price standpoint. And then you could also have a higher tier which costs about $11.99, and that can essentially give you better hardware. That can give you more CPU, that can give you more GPU, that can give you more RAM, that can give you more storage. Essentially, that's going to last you much longer because you have a lot better hardware, and most of these games nowadays, every year, they're essentially upgrading the hardware to get better specs, better visuals, better graphics, better gameplays, etc. And so the better your hardware is, the longer your PC/gaming console can last within an X amount of years. Now, they can also do an even higher tier as well, maybe 1300 or even more. That's some of your top of the line, you know, NVIDIA's RTXs, the 4090s, the 4080s, some of your top of the line AMD CPUs, top of the line 64 gig RAMs, you know, terabyte storage devices. That can be your top of the line specifications. That could be how they actually release this console, and just doing 3 different tiers to try to see what audiences or consumers are willing to pay, and just essentially do their base point starting from there. And essentially what could happen, Xbox and PC could start to follow along once they kind of see that trend. Now, here's my opinion on everything. I think Steam messed up. I think they should start it out at the $4.99 price point, or even $5.99 price point. Why? Because they have no audience. The only people who actually know Steam is the people who are actually PC gamers, the people who already have a PC at this particular point. Console, if they're stepping into the console space, they have no audience. No one really knows about Steam specifically. You know, Xbox and PlayStation players, they may know a little about Steam, but they don't know as much about Steam, you know, or even parents, kids may not know much about Steam. So essentially for them to start out at the $9.99 or $1,100 price point, I think that could be a huge mistake, just because not very many people are willing to invest into a company that they don't really know, besides them being known for just gaming only. I think they should have started out at the $4.99 and eventually increased their prices on a yearly, you know, every 5 years basis, just to see if people are continually willing to pay the prices as they increase the price. Now, the problem with that is how long the company is willing to lose money, because like I mentioned earlier, them setting that price point at that $4.99, $5.99 price point, they're losing money because all the parts that it costs to make the console is actually worth more. So that's probably why they're not setting it at that low price point, just because they're not willing to lose money in the long run, and they just won't sustain or succeed as a business if they keep doing that on a regular basis. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think it's worth it for you to go from just a regular PC, your gaming PC, to switch over to Steam? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think Steam has something exclusive tied to them to where it would be beneficial for you to go with Steam directly? Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys think that Steam price and their price point at that $8.99, $9.99, or possibly even $11.99 price point is even going to be worth it, you know? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I also did a video on Call of Duty, some of the secrets that they've been hiding as far as what they've been doing on a regular basis, why they've been releasing it, why they've been doing crossovers and things of that nature to try to keep people engaged. I exposed some of the secrets of Call of Duty in a video recently. It's going to be up here. I honestly don't know. It's one of these places, but hey, let me know what you guys think down below. But that's all I got for you guys. Until next time, peace.